special presentation.
From the Captain Esports Network.
Viva Las Vegas! Race number 3 of this Sim500 NCA11 Cup Series season brings you just to the north and east of Las Vegas, Nevada, downtown, right across the street pretty much from Dallas Air Force Base, sits Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the track that hosted the 2023 final race of the Sim500 season. We return for race number 3 of the season here tonight on the Captain Esports Network. I am the captain. Of course, Kevin England joins me as he does each and every Monday night. Kevin, 2 races so far, and we have seen 2 fantastic and wild finishes. Do we go 3 for 3 tonight, potentially in Vegas? I mean, what a start to the season so far.
Oh, yeah, definitely 3 for 3 tonight. This is one of the raciest tracks on the circuit. Like a pair of good fitting jeans. The drivers like this racetrack. They like the way the turns work. They like the way the straightaway works. They like to hustle the car around the corners. We're going to see an amazing side-by-side, maybe fuel strategy, maybe demo derby race. Who knows? That's the really cool thing about this is we have no idea how this is going to work out tonight, but I promise you it's going to be an outstanding race.
It is always an outstanding race here. Some of the best racing you see in the next-gen car has been here at Vegas. Some might say the other way around because of, what they've seen Kyle Larson do the last couple of Vegas races in real life. But this series, with the way the weather sets up and so on and so forth, I think you're going to expect some wildness. Now, the cool thing is that a couple of the leagues that we broadcast here on the network has figured out what has been going on with the track weather. Of course, there's a little glitch going on right now, and with the new build coming tomorrow, it's been causing an issue where the weather has been stagnant the whole entire time. Like, the weather doesn't change. It says iRacing default, and it kind of changes up the specs of the track and so on and so forth. So with that said, they've made the adjustment today. So we're still going to see the usual iRacing default weather, but the track temp is actually going to go up and down tonight, and we're going to see different track racing. The clouds are going to move around, and so on and so forth. So get ready for a more traditional Sim500 race here, as somebody, I think that's Kevin Stone, goes lawn mowing through the infield on the camera there. But that's actually Eric Arnold, close, but no cigar for Scala's call there. But either way, points battle. We have right now Mike Kelly, who has come out the gate, one of the hottest drivers, I would say probably second to Wesley Donaldson, is leading the points right now after 2 events in his Daytona 500 win. Dustin Hall, Joe Hudson, Mark Jorgensen, and Kevin DeBrown, your top 5 in points. That's a rookie right up there, by the way, in second. And also there in the 4th position, I believe Jorgensen is. There's Cody Giles, of course, one of those gaming team, Ancient World gaming team drivers there after almost winning that race last week at Atlanta there in 7th. Nick Jobs, Stenzel Parker, your top 10. But now we get more. I know Atlanta was more of that traditional style, but this is really more of the traditional style mile-and-a-half track.
I think what the drivers are going to face tonight is challenging track conditions, especially you and I were having this conversation about the history of this racetrack and the fact that it leads to long green flag runs. But yet you need to be up on the wheel. You need to stay in the draft. You need to make aggressive moves down in the corner when you get the runs. And so it should be a rather interesting race to see who's going to be conservative and who's going to attack the night and how the actual cautions fall, if there are any, and how that plays into the different strategies.
I agree 100%. As cars are out on the track, qualifying has started. And of course, it's presented by 811. And right there on track is last season's winner of this race, the spring race. That's Doy Woods, who won this race in a green-white checker finish. As the cars come across the line, you see Jatina jumping up there to the top, Peters to second until Dalton does. This will be more of a throwaway lap as per usual, kind of a super speedway-like qualifying.
Yeah, bring the car tire temperatures up to temperature. Just try and get some heat in the tire so you can drive it down in. And, these guys, they're going to carve that white line. And I'm curious to see when they come back here to the front stretch, whether they go below the white line or stay up on the racetrack here in qualifying trim.
It looks like they're going below the white line to answer your question, as Dalton goes to the top 30.8. And should correct myself, that's Patrick Colby in a 28 car, who just went P2 at a 30.9, not Doy Woods, who was in the 28. Of course, usually is in the 28 car. So, again, one of those couple driver changes that I got to get used to still here. After 3 races, Eric Arnold jumps up there. I think another driver. Where's our hottest driver on the circuit? There he is. Wesley Donaldson. Got a little sneak peek of who Wesley Donaldson is. Oh, by the way, did the old 3 questions for Wesley and gave me some pretty interesting answers. Kind of caught me off guard. And this one floats a little more up your alley, Mr. New Jersey Devil fan. Wesley Donaldson is a St. Louis Blues fan. He was a fan of the old Brett Hall days back when he was playing. Of course, with, who was the coach there? Former Rangers coach, Mike Leach, I think was his name. Mike, something like that. Anyways, he's a big fan of the Peoria Rivermen, which is the minor league franchise to the St. Louis Blues hockey club there. And he's a big metalhead, so anything that screams, apparently he likes. As Mark Jorgensen, by the way, has jumped to the top, 30.836. Arnold up to third. Donaldson is going to be P6. And that's just 2 of the things. We'll save the third one for last, of course. And we'll talk to Wesley here in just a little bit. But Jorgensen, 30.836. Pretty good sporty lap for him. Let's see what other hot rods we got out there. How about... as I got to move my screen around here a little bit. Let's get... Jose's already completed his lap. Kind of surprised by his lap. How about last week's pole sitter here? Kevin King, who felt like last week's race got taken from him. He was not a happy camper last week. And, of course, we heard Josh's comments in the interview with the way that he raced and how Kevin felt like he was raced. But Kevin honestly felt like that was a win that was yanked away from him. But we'll see if tonight maybe retribution on his mind. As he's purple right now, coming off turn 4. Had that car kind of sideways. And across the line, 38.01 Polecat.
Ring the bell. Nice lap.
Very nice lap.
Tyler Dalton third.
Yeah.
Not expecting to see him pop in here tonight on the pole. Good lap for Chad Coleman, just slotted into the 6th position.
Yeah, 39.04. There's Kevin DeBrown, last night's winner from Talladega in the Xfinity Series. He goes P10, 30.93. A lot of people in those 9s. Look at that, from 4th place down. You got about, 5 100ths from 4th all the way down to the 17th position, basically, there. As, look who has snuck into the field. I know he was talking with Joey about being able to race tonight, and I think they were able to have the amount of room of course, he's not going to have time to qualify. So Pedro's going to start in the back. He's going to go Josh Parker with Parker. But Pedro Mojica here tonight. But congratulations to Kevin King, who wins the 811 Pole Award. Always a reminder to know what's below and call before you dig. And let's go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, great job on the national anthem as always. As we get ready, 44 cars going to take the grid here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And let's take a look at the lineup as we'll kind of fly through it here a little bit as they're going to start to roll off. Kevin King, Mark Jorgensen, the front row. Kevin, second straight pole for him. Tyler Dalton, Nick Jobs there in row number 2. Row 3, Eric Arnold, Chad Coleman, Brian Macklin, Nelson Rivera, Bobby Wetzel, Kevin Brown. Your top 10, Mike Kelly, he'll start there the inside of row number 6, and alongside him going to be Justin Fuller, Cody Giles, Donnie Leah, Wesley Donaldson, Jason Karlovage, Colby and Medina, Scott Stenzel, Robert Fryby III, Kevin Stone, and Nick Silver making an appearance here in the 46 tonight, starting 22nd. Joey Justina 23rd with Ron Mitten 24th. Stoney Benfield, Mike Peters, row 13. As you look through the rest of the 44 starters as they go down the back straightaway, just to know, 134 laps tonight, 200 miles exactly. A reminder, last season's race went to overtime. So something to keep an eye on. I think tonight's going to be a 2-stop race, but you never know. Somebody could try to go 67 laps and get to the finish on one stop. You ready, Kev?
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around row number 9, which is Funky Cole Medina.
Yes. Well,
Colby Medina.
I see what you're doing there. As
Yeah, I tried.
good effort. As we come to the green flag, and race number 3 of this NC811 Cup Series season is about to go green from Sin City. Who's gonna hit 21? Who's gonna roll snake eyes? We find out now. Cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. And like you said earlier, Kev, there is usually a lot of green flag racing in this race.
Yeah, but this is a tedious time. You're running nose to tail, door to door, down into the corner as hard as you can. You've got as much grip as you want. And I'm going to say to you, running this racetrack, first 8-10 laps, you feel like Superman. If you run the car hard, and these guys do run the car hard, after about 10 laps, car starts to step out on exit. Car starts to loosen up a little bit, gets a little twitchy, doesn't do well through the bumps in turn 1. And so I suspect we'll do a little parade lap action here for the first 10 laps, and then we're going to see business pick up a little bit.
I've seen already business picking up around the 6th position, as that is Chad Coleman to the outside, trying to make a move on Nelson Rivera as they're 3 wide, almost some contact with Bobby Wetzel and Kevin DeBrown. And look at Wesley down to the bottom, one of the hottest drivers in the circuit, trying to make moves there on that Mobile 1, number 20. That is Donnie Leah. Get ready for that adjustment.
Boy, I tell you, they were really hustling down in there, and these cars don't move around that much on this racetrack, but it really is tedious when you're in the center and you're looking high, you're looking low. You want to swing the car up, but you got to be careful. And if you're in the outside lane, you don't want to bang the right side against the wall. So they definitely have their hands full here as they're in tight quarters early on in this race.
Yeah, so far, seeing a lot of moves already, especially people trying to work their way up through the field. Justin Fuller up to the 9th position already. As mentioned, Donnie Leah battling with Cody Giles in that 5 car. Bobby Wetzel, the red and with the white racing stripe, number 9, there behind him. And along with Wesley Donaldson. But the pack definitely not spreading out until the handling kicks in. You're going to see the pack racing like that. And I mean, you go back to yesterday's Cup race, Kev, as Giles about gets in the back of Kevin DeBrown. We saw cars 2, 3, 4 wide at times on restarts as there's some door banging. Rivera gets loose, got down into Fuller, but saves it. And Rivera off the pace.
Yeah, Medina, outstanding job locking him up as that accordion came back to him. He tapped on the brakes, hooked the car left, got it around the number 60 of Karlovaj. That could have been big. That was a scary moment off of turn number 2, and that's what I'm talking about. These guys,
No caution,
yellow,
wrecking in the back.
flag.
The 41 of Justin Mons apparently having some issues. And we mentioned this race only had 3 cautions last season. We get 6 laps and we get a yellow.
Well, and the luck for the 13 once again. Lucky 13 there is. Wow. Comstock in the mix again one more time, running back out there in the 25s. That was just a bump going wrong, it almost looks like. It unsettled the 41 and led to that incident.
Yeah, looks like the 41 went to try to help Rivera out, and it sent him kind of up the track a little bit. And obviously Comstock was on his outside, and it finished the spin around. Unfortunately, sometimes they say nice guys finish last. And in this case for the 41, he was trying to be a nice guy and help Rivera out, who needed the momentum. As you see from the crash cam here, he's going to give the bump to Nelson to get him going. It sends him up the track and into Comstock. And a simple spinneroonie and back at it. But how about the straightaway before that? Nelson Rivera, I thought he was gone with this near spin. Let's see if I can get to Nelson before it almost happens here.
It looked like the 41 just got off center.
Yeah.
When he tapped him.
Oh, you know what I saw there?
Pushed up out of the corner.
You know what I saw? Actually, it looks like Rivera got spooked. He saw Fuller put his nose on his left rear at the last second. I think he reacted to it. Watch one. Let me get you one more view of this again. Watch the 51 here. He's going to get his nose underneath the 22 here coming out of the corner. And watch how he reacts.
You can slip the run to the bottom here.
And he just kind of jerks the wheel right a little bit and puts himself in a bad spot. But great job by everybody. Yeah, there's the 28 of Colby dropping down to Tucson or to Reno to miss that. Hope everybody's doing okay out in that area. They've got a lot of snow.
And just from that overhead shot, you could see you could run a Paramount to a half a wheel under the white line, and you could run through the lane up, through the middle, 2 lanes up, all the way right up against the fence if you're so inclined. That is one of the things about this racetrack is there's grip across the entire racing surface.
So to finish out my conversation about Wesley Donaldson, of course, we got to know him. He's a big metalhead, likes to enjoy the screaming music. Big fan of the St. Louis Blues, and of course, he's got an Instagram page with a following of collections and customs that he's made, of course, part of the WBD diecast. Basically, in 2008 through 2010, he was actually in middle school making NASCAR stop-motion videos and posting them on YouTube. Shows you how young he is. Of course, you could actually still find on his YouTube page. So, some interesting insight on the driver that is probably the hottest driver in Sim500 right now. Let's talk to him real quick while we have a minute. As I want to make sure I'm in the right channel. I know we're coming to green, and there's Wes right there. Wesley, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right. So, what's his favorite rock band of yours?
I mean, I don't know if I can narrow it down to 100%, but Okay, I'll say this. I'm going to see Avenged Sevenfold.
I know them.
So,
I guess I gotta talk to you one day off the air and figure out what it is, because like I get a headache from listening to screamers.
it doesn't bother me.
Maybe it's a noise thing.
But to be fair, not everything I listen to is necessarily screaming, but there's a lot of it.
That's fair, man. Good job. Appreciate your info there and some stuff to share, and wish you nothing but the best here, buddy. 9 laps in, going green.
Thanks, Chris.
You too, buddy. Wesley Donaldson. They're joining us, and yeah, I cannot. I cannot at all. Like, I try to listen to that kind of stuff, and it's like, you're the guy's like, oh, it's done. I'm like, what in the world? Anyways.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, green flag coming out is, Mark got caught sleeping. Kevin King with a good restart there on the bottom side. Going to bring Tyler Dalton with him.
A lot of debate whether you start in first gear or second. If you start in first, it's almost like a blip, and if you miss it, and we saw in a couple of the NIS races drivers missing gears coming up out of the corner because you're shifting into third to fourth coming out of 2, and somewhere about middle of the backstretch, depending on how you wound it up, you're going to shove it into 5th gear. And right now everybody is flat down. When your tires are good and the track is right in these early stages, you can almost run wide open. But again, if we going to see what you think is going to happen, we're going to have long green flag runs. I think it's going to be a yellow polka dotted bikini tonight.
I'm not going with the intro at the beginning of that song, but yeah, interesting. I mean, I've always been someone that, old school wise, you don't shift in the corner when you're upshifting. Now, some of this you just don't have a chance. Like, for instance, Daytona, I made sure I was in 4th gear or whatever before turn 1, and in high gear down the back straightaway. Atlanta was the same way. Atlanta, you actually had to start in 1st gear on restarts and only used 4 gears. You didn't even need 5th gear. I don't know how the fixed setup was, but the custom setup I was using, I didn't even touch 5th gear the whole night at Atlanta.
Round the outside. Tyler Dalton around in turn 3, passes Kevin King, pulls up. He's going to lead lap number 12, working lap number 13, 19 to the front. He's going to pick up a bonus point there as put the spurs to it, drove down out of turn number 2 to the outside, was able to side draft with Kevin and then pulled it away. And I wonder if Tyler's looking to lead here or looking to lead a lap as Kevin gets right back to his outside on the entry to 3, and Tyler eases out. They're side by side, and Kevin's got the run. King looks like he's going to come back to the top of the stack here for lap number 14.
So Kevin King leads that lap. Obviously, Tyler, I don't even think got the bonus point for leading a lap, so he's going to have to work a little bit to get that. As here comes Mr. Aggressive, top side there, Kevin DeBrown. They were 3 wide for a split second there. And Kevin already up to the 4th position after starting P10. Taking advantage of these restarts and getting what they can get, and that's something you have to do with this car. As we saw at Phoenix in the Xfinity season English Xfinity race a couple weeks ago, we saw how hard it was to pass on the longer run. So I think you're going to have the same here. You got 3 wide into turn 1 now with Fuller.
Almost contact in the center there as he got to the quarter panel, was able to get the car to turn down and not make contact as Eric Arnold comes up and covers the gap. Here comes Mike Kelly into the mix. Seeing some pretty hard charges here early on as these drivers trying to get up to this front 5 at least. And Mike Kelly, he's thinking about going 3 wide. Is he going to stick his nose in there at the start finish? Nope. Drinks wiser of it, pulls back out. He's got Eric Arnold to his inside as they're 2 by 2 by 2 from about 3rd on back.
Yeah, pretty much back to Giles, and then you got Brian Macklin back in this race here tonight. Good to see him with Wesley Donaldson. Jason Carlavage there in the 60 car, perfect sponsor for Vegas, a fantasy racing website. Then you got the fastest chicken in Sim500 back here behind him, Mike Peters in that 95 car, the Raising Cane's Chicken Tenders car. That Mustang there. And then you got an unsponsored 42 of Scott Stenzel. Usually, or wait, there's the 42. Never mind, he's not unsponsored. It's Nick Silver without a sponsor.
Man.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
wait a minute, Sleepy Guy without a sponsor, but no, it's Nick Silver. I might see an opportunity for a certain viewer watching right now about a sponsorship opportunity he mentioned.
Up 20 spots is Josh Parker, 220th. So he started 40 out back tonight and doing what he does. Lap 17, already passed 20 cars. Biggest mover early on here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's moving through the field. Meanwhile, Pedro Mojica, who obviously was a late entry to the race, he has started in the back with him and has only gotten up to 39th right now. So I'm pretty sure Pedro's using this as a practice session right now. And I think you'll see Pedro in a little bit here work his way up through the field in that 58 car. But good to see the champ from 2023 back. As up here, Kevin DeBrown is up to second now past Jorgensen, as he looks to put pressure on this 29 now, as 3 wide back at Calantoni.
Yeah, Calantoni meeting the sandwich here. He's got to be careful. The John Boy Talking Giants looks a little skittish in the middle of the corner, and that's going to allow him to ease out of it just a little bit. To his outside comes the number 10, Richard Beasley.
Had to look, didn't you, to see if that was Beasley or not, because of the colors on that car are different.
Yeah, it just, if it's not tied orange, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm just still trying to process that. As Beasley's car looks a little nervous to the outside, and you know, this is where we were talking about. You start to see those drivers who ran hard, their cars are going to start to twitch.
Right. Oh, you're exactly right. As Dalton's starting to fall back now, so you wonder if he burned up his tires a little bit there trying to get the lead. As he's going to lose a spot to Fuller, going to lose a spot to Jobs, who's having a great run so far. Fuller, nice crossover there. Mike Kelly going by, and here comes Donnie Lee of the 20 car.
Just looked over to the left and saw Peters absolutely yawed out sideways, and that's what I expect. Is some of these drivers who ran hard in the beginning, they're going to wear that left rear out. It's a strange characteristic of the way the car drives this racetrack, and if you're throttle in going through the middle of the corner, you'll find yourself as you pick up the throttle coming up out of 4, especially the car will step sideways. And I suspect in due time we're going to see drivers sliding, making contact, and going down through the grass as they wrestle with these cars, which are so hard to handle when they got that condition.
So 22 laps complete, and I think the one thing you mentioned off that, Kev, is you got an independent suspension, plus you're allowed to put camber and stuff in that rear tire now. And I think that's what allows that left rear to be all types of sideways and taking more of the wear than what you're used to seeing with either the right front or the right rear, depending on what how you're driving the car. But safe to say tonight, turn 4 is going to be Calamity Corner.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where the challenge is going to find a lot of these drivers, especially, you know, 1 and 2, it seems like you can point the car a little from the center of the corner down to the white line and get a straighter drive off, where turn 4, you tend to be in the side grip factor from the middle off. You let the car sweep out to the outside fence, and you got to turn it down so you don't collect the outside fence. And it's something about the bottom of the racetrack down there, when you turn up, it just doesn't have as much banking to put the car into. And so turn 4 is Calamity Corner if you're going to have to compare the two.
And not to mention that sweepy entry, as you kind of talked about there in the 3, kind of reminds you of the old Atlanta, which we ran last week. You don't even apex it. You more just try to drive it straight into the bottom lane, and it's going to kind of create a push condition. As we got a battle for the lead, as look at Kevin Brown, the Kevins battling each other. Kevin going for the lead.
Kevin peeked down underneath there. Did not. I think he was pretty conservative down on the bottom. As again, I don't know how much grip he had, and you know, a lot of the way to drive this racetrack, if you feel like you're going to see a long green flag run, is run the car down into the corner, let out of the gas, and then pick back up, drive half throttle until you get to exit, and then squeeze back in and pick up the throttle, and that way you're going to save your tires. But yeah, we'll see how this is going to play out, as both of them hustled the car out of turn 4 that time.
Kevin King able to hold him off right now. Of course, the former Coke Series driver there in that 29 car with Kevin Brown, and then you got that gray ghost back there, the 88 of Jorgensen, and Chad Coleman having a great run so far. The Iron Man looking to break that streak that goes back to Talladega 2022. Excuse me, where the... Oh, some contact. The Kevins getting into each other going into the corner. I don't know if that was Kevin Brown saying, look, I'm not going to put up with the arrow blocking, or, oh, into the wall goes Fuller in front of the field. Job's going to get a piece of this also down in the Stenzel.
Yeah, I think Fuller's car is killed, and everybody else still trying to avoid the cars sitting across the racetrack as additional contact. Everybody in the back
Oh,
able
Wesley
to pick up.
Donaldson's involved too with heavy damage.
Wow. Fuller's car is killed. 25 is destroyed. Yeah, there were some pretty big hits there in that.
All I saw was the 51 turn across off of turn 4 there. Not sure what created the issue there. Like I
Yeah,
said,
this is what I expected. This is that loose off of turn 4 slide. And you either go down through the grass or you come back up across the racetrack.
Let's see how this transpires real quick. And we got leaders on pit road, so we'll see if we can show this before we get them off of pit road. Oh, yeah, Fuller's already sliding up the track right there, and he starts to get loose, overcorrects right in front, add Donnie Leah to the damaged. Macklin, good job getting through there. There's Wesley. Oh, no, man, Macklin did not get through it. But we'll come back to this replay here in just a second as the cars are on pit road. And kind of a new way. I tried it out last night. I think I liked it, so we're going to show you to it again here and let you kind of see from here how everybody does on pit road.
That's going to be our theme music tonight. There's turn 4. Telling you.
As Brian Wortman stays out, pitted at lap 7. And looks like it's Kevin King with a 14.5. Off pit road second. Kevin Brown third. Jorgensen and Coleman going to be your top 5. With Brian Wortman doing his usual Brian Wortman things. And he's going to lead this race. Let's go back again to the caution, because you talked about it a little bit here. And let's go on board with the units number 51 here and just listen, because it's almost like when he gets a throttle, you get that push loose out of it.
Right. You pick up the throttle and the car starts to yaw and you let off, and as soon as you let off, the car will swing that right front out. You have to counter steer, but it's almost unexpected as to how it's going to behave, and you see a couple bang and hits there out the front windshield. Yeah, it's tricky coming out of 4, I'm telling you.
No, I agree 100% there. And that brought the caution out for the second time here. And again,
Timing wise, this is not a bad break for some of these drivers. They get 4 sets of tires. If they split the distance evenly, they'll run about 33 laps. We're on lap 27. I saw a lot of drivers did take tires. They probably abused their first set. They'll have to nurse the second set, but at least that condition they were challenged with after running hard in that first stint can be mediated to some extent as they start this next one. Yeah, they're going to have to baby it a little bit, but see Fuller finally changing tires, and I believe he's going to be down and away, a couple laps down by the time this is over, as they're working on the Get a Unit, unitstorage.com Toyota, fixing it. That thing is really beat up.
Yeah, unfortunate deal there for Fuller. Obviously, just wrong place, wrong time there, and just lost control when it's over with. But I'm going to play devil's advocate on your strategy here, Kev. I'm going to split this race in 1. And what I mean by that is I'm going 1 stop the rest of the way here, and probably going to about lap number, so we go green here at 29. I'm going to lap 79-ish, somewhere in that area, I'm thinking. As we go back,
it's time to say that's a bold strategy there, Cotton.
I say that because you're going green with 104 to go. Go 52 laps. So whatever 52 is from here is what I'm trying to do. But that's not
I think you could do it if you take care of the car right around in the back and then be the hero to drive through as the 25 departs his service and pulls out back to the racetrack.
Brian Wortman on pit road now as Wesley Donaldson comes down pit road. But, I mean, you can go 63, 64 laps on a tank of fuel. It's just a matter of keeping the right front on your car for those 50 laps. And I think if you ride around here, let this race come to you. And I think it's an interesting strategy. But, of course, right now, as we got cars back here on the apron going into turn 3, Look at this mess. This is back with David Comstock, Joe Hudson, Gerald Livingston, Kevin Stone. Montesi's back here with Stoney Benfield.
Yeah, correction on that.
Oh, a
That
couple
was the
cars in the wall.
91.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
That was the 91 I saw, not the... I saw a blue car. I think Wesley's got a broken toe link on the right side. He went out to try and do a lap, see if he could hold pace. And he's back on pit road for some service in that number 91.
Yeah, tough break there for the WBD diecast number 91. He's probably going to not let me do a feature on him again. So... But, man, yeah, getting the wild racing. Everybody trying to get their track position. But, of course, you start to think, you know, we've had 2 cautions in 30 laps. You start wondering, okay, does that mean we might have 5 or 6 cautions tonight? And if so, then, you know, I think that takes the tire and fuel strategy potentially out of this. But the question, obviously, is when do those cautions come out?
Yes, I'm losing the field here a little bit. Saw Jorgensen blink. I saw the 29 blink, but now everybody's back.
Put some tinfoil on that monitor of yours.
Yeah. How about Jorgensen? What a run for the number 88 early on. I'll tell you, to come in here and have speed against the stars, that's pretty impressive to see some of these newcomers have the pace that they have.
Speaking of speed, look at the guy in 5th place. Hello, Josh Parker, who started in the back.
Yeah.
In 35 laps, has jumped up here to the 5th position in this race.
He and his friend Mike Kelly running nose to tail as Parker moves around. The 38 of Chad Coleman.
He just went 3 wide through the middle, did Parker, and moves a 2nd. What a move that was, and oh, here we go with this again. Let's see if they race any different here than Atlanta. King this time just kind of lets Parker go. Parker's going to slide up, and Josh Parker from 40th to 1st in 35 laps. Yeah, Kevin basically, from what I understood in chat, I didn't get this verbatim, but from what I understood from others who heard it, was basically saying he was not happy with Josh pinching him down through 3 and 4 on those last couple laps and the way he was being raced. And, of course, that led to the contact and Wesley Donaldson sneaking through and getting the win last week. So that's why I wonder, will we see anything different here? Is Kevin back to the outside?
Yeah, I could play devil's advocate on that. I think Josh Parker was doing what he was supposed to do. I mean, he could have been nice, but if you hold the other driver off and prevent them from driving out using all the racetrack, then you're doing your job.
It's
and
racing, right.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with you. And I think at the same time, Parker knew by doing that, he risked himself if Kevin gets really loose there as he takes the lead back, then there's a chance that they both take each other out. And that's something that you have to understand and accept. If you're going to squeeze somebody down the track in the middle of the corner, that there could be repercussions.
I guess there's this adage, and you know, because you've raced as long as I have in some respects, there's a certain gentlemanly thing, and there's also a certain, you know what, I worked so hard and I went all this race, and I don't deserve, after earning what I got through the whole race, to have somebody come in and race me that way, right? You would expect that the person you would want, traditionally, the person who...
Sorry, Kev, 3 wide up here for 3rd.
No, I know.
Jorgensen's getting a little bit of an initiation from the veterans up there on the top side. Continue what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I don't know that I have words at the moment watching what's
Right?
going on here. No, it's one
it-
of those things where you feel like you've earned a sense of entitlement, yet nobody else cares what your entitlement is. That's what I'm trying to spit out.
Well,
right?
I mean, let's go back to, you know what? This comes to my mind for some reason. I know you watch baseball, correct?
Yep. Oh,
Oh,
Kevin DeBrown got tagged on entry, but collected it.
Good save.
Wow.
Let's go back to
That was
2004,
nice.
shall we? The World Series that broke the curse in Boston. Does everybody remember the Yankees being up 3-0 and literally at any moment was going to sweep the Red Sox out? and then in game 4, everything changed. Red Sox came all the way back and won the World Series. What's the difference in that whole deal to a race? Other than you're not making contact and that kind of thing, but you wouldn't think the Red Sox would have said, well, yeah, you guys have beaten our, what's the quote from Pedro? You call the Yankees my daddy? I mean, you can't say that, the Yankees didn't deserve to win that championship. You have to run the whole entire event. You have to perform the whole entire event. There's a reason why it's 134 laps, not 129.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
my
These
fight back
days,
to
that etiquette has kind of gone by the wayside. These young whippersnappers, they're going to race you like with no respect.
But that
they
doesn't
don't care
mean
if
that
they're
doesn't.
17.
No, that doesn't mean it's Joey Jattina gets the wall back there and about takes out Van Schaik. That would have been an interesting owner type of contact. At the same time, though, I could fully understand somebody being mad that they felt like they were racing wrong, and that's okay. That's their right. As Parker goes back to the lead up here, but that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, obviously we're just talking about the way you feel when you race is the way I'm thinking of it, right? I've worked so hard. I've done such a good job. Can't you recognize that I deserve to win this thing? That's not what everybody else is thinking, but your mindset is, I did a really good job. I deserve to win this.
Right. No, totally understand.
Problems for the number 49, Matt Ralasso, the Donnie Lee at number 20 slid up and turned 3 and 4, got to the side of the number 49, tagged him, and he banged the right side so hard that I think he broke a toe link also. So the 49 is pit side here early in this event at Las Vegas.
Yeah, Ralasso, you mentioned the 49 car, unfortunately off the track. So is Mike Peters. He is numerous laps down, has gotten back on track. Fuller's returned to the track, and just saw Scott Stenzel leaving the pits, so he is coming back on track also as these guys try to get whatever points they can get here to salvage a bad night, so to say. And look at Kevin King back to the front. So he and Parker playing the whole switcheroo game, trying to figure out who wants to lead laps more. Of course, Mike Kelly third, Chad Coleman fourth, Cody Giles backing up that run that he had in Atlanta, running up here in the top 5 here at the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And you know what we should do? Let's step away real quick here and hear a word from our sponsors so we can get back for pit stops potentially on the Captain Esports Network.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
All right, back we are here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway virtually on iRacing. It is race number 3 of this Sim500 NC811.org Cup Series here from Sin City. I'm the captain, of course, Kevin England joining us as we are at lap 47, 20 laps into this run where obviously pit strategy going to come into play here. Is this still a one-stop race? Is it a two-stop race? It's going to be interesting to see as we start to kind of fan out here and get ourselves a green flag run as Kevin King and Josh Parker have been swapping the lead out. Chad Coleman hanging out there in third. Cody Giles has just gone by Mike Kelly for the 4th position, so that number 5 looking pretty good. I mean, not like I didn't see a 5 in real life yesterday running pretty good at Vegas.
I'm peeking in the back there, just looking for that 58. 21 positions up, currently 18th. Running 18th, starting to come forward.
Yeah, he's starting to get some momentum going here, starting to
Last
get...
year's champion.
What I miss?
Last year's champion.
Oh, yeah, last year's champion. Yes, sorry, I misheard you there. Last season's champion in both the Xfinity and the Cup Series. First guy to ever do that in Sim500's history, which is all of 7 years now, basically, here on iRacing. So appreciate the viewers watching tonight. I've seen us kind of yo-yoing between 15 to 25 viewers, so appreciate everybody watching. If you're new to the chat, hit that subscribe button. And obviously, We appreciate you joining us, and always feel free to comment, and if you so, I might even just throw you a shout out like I always like to do, like the great Bully Dog Coffee Company and media always watching us and looking for drivers to potentially put his name on. Of course, Brendan Bennett cheering on Mike Peters, who unfortunately is a couple laps down now. Kevin England, whoever that guy is in chat. Atomic Burrito, that being Jason. Oh, man, that poor guy tried to make his debut in the Xfinity Series last night, and it lasted all of 5 laps.
That's not a good way to go.
No, he went out the hard way. Unfortunately, got tagged in a big checkup, spun around, and he met the bug spray / mustard mobile of Samuel Harrell. I remember the guy. Who was in that car? And yes, that is a correct. By the way, he has like a half bug spray, half French's yellow mustard on his car.
Okay. That's an interesting combination.
It's very interesting. And I think not Raid, but what was the other like 90s bug spray that was popular back then? Black Flag, I think it is.
Black Flag, yeah.
That was the bug spray, so it's not like Raid or anything.
I'm going to say a name we have not talked about tonight. First time tonight. Top 10. Anthony Cantoni.
Uh-oh.
Yes. I did mention John Boy talking Giants, and then we didn't get a chance to say that. Anthony broke into the top 10. He's got a fast card coming, and I think he was probably taking care of the thing. And let's go back up front and talk about Kevin King. Why are these two fighting so hard? I really believe
they almost wrecked each other there. Sorry to get loud there for a second.
Jorgensen against the fence. Boy, these guys are on it tonight.
I mean,
he's going to lose quite a few positions in that number 88. Is they want clean air, and they're getting good runs from the draft. You get such great runs, especially off of turn 2 to the high side.
Doug Sigmund off the track over here on the front straightaway, gets it back on and going. But I mean, Parker did everything but wall Kevin King off turn 4 last lap. And watch this. Before hang on, let me back up a little more. It's gonna happen this time by here, so they're going into 1 and 2 right now. And down the back straightaway. And he's going to get a run to his inside here, and he literally leans up on that left rear coming off the corner, and Kevin does everything to keep it out of the outside wall here. Yeah, well, he might have even got it.
I might have, yeah, we saw a little, you could see the drivers tagging the wall. That was the 88 behind them with a little puff of dust, scraping the white off the outside barrier.
3 wide, 2 monsters and a Rivera. We got Comstock in the monster. We got the alcoholic monster. And I don't mean that as the person, I mean the beast paint scheme. And Nelson Rivera.
You can see from that shot that they've kind of singled filed out, which I think is going to be a sign that that's one. Wow, that was calamity. As the 93 of Parker was absolutely sideways out of turn 4, just like we saw earlier, but instead of coming across the racetrack, he had someone to lean on, and that could have been massive. Cantoni never lifted, went down to the bottom of the apron, drove right by that clutch of cars.
Yeah, Mike Kelly with a great save with, you mentioned 93, Kevin Brown, obviously a great save, but Donnie Leah kind of doing some modified work here, if you will, saving the rear tires on that car, and he has come up through the field up to the 5th position at Mobil 1 Chevrolet on that 20, doing a good job here in the 5th position.
I'll tell you, if you save tires, you get about 8-10 laps into a run where everybody starts to drop off, and all of a sudden they all back up to you and you start coming. And, you know, somebody could look 8-10 car lengths ahead of you and you're going to run them down. So I think this is where we're going to see who saved and who ran too hard.
Brian Macklin, I believe, is taking his 30 car behind the wall. I saw him come to pit road, and I think he effed out. Look at this mess. Jorgensen has fallen way back, by the way. He is literally back to 17th all of a sudden here. So I don't know if the parachute shot out on his car or what the deal is, but that 88 is on the struggle bus.
Yeah, he got a part of the wall. When we were watching that Kevin King Josh Parker part, he went out and tapped the outside wall, and I'm not sure if he has a little bit of damage to that Gray Ghost, but yeah, it could have also set him back to say, I need to ease out a little bit, let these tires cool off, ride for a little.
16 laps complete. We're working on lap 32 of this run, 33. So we're getting to that point. You get to lap 82. That is the window of those who might be trying to go 50-50. I think if somebody's going to try to make this maybe a 35-35 type of deal to go 100, you're going to come to pit road in the next 2 or 3 laps. So we're going to keep an eye on here to see. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather do the one stopper, I think, than the 2. But Kevin's on the 2, and I'm good with that.
I'd be scared to death to pull in, go get tires, come back out, and see a caution and find myself buried deep in the field 1 lap down.
And that's the fight you have. As speaking of fights, here's Justin Mons, who's had a good comeback. The Ancient World Gaming 41 cars worked his way back up into the 12th position here. He's got Tyler Dalton there behind him. Of course, Tyler probably having PTSD moments with that 58 on his outside right now.
I'm impressed with Cody Giles, just doing an outstanding job, riding in third, maintained his track position, still within shot of the leaders. And how about it? The 38 of Chad Coleman. This is what Chad needs to do. You find that if you can get Chad Coleman to run in the top 5, he's a threat at the end of the race. He's doing exactly what he needs to do for the season.
One car getting loose, front straightaway, and almost up to the outside wall. I'm not sure who it is, though. I'm trying to find him. I could see him in that rear camera. Up there he is, flashed by the screen.
The 88?
Is it the 88?
It's all silver.
All right, I couldn't catch the car out of the corner of my eye, and I'm trying
Yes,
to look
it
at
was
my...
the 88.
Is it Jorgensen? Oh, no.
He was against the white line, got loose, tried to catch the car, came up, got into the 43 and went down into, well, he almost got to the grass.
All right, I was trying to catch that over here on the monitor, but I could not find the driver scrolling. Usually you can see somebody going down like backwards in the field.
King back out front again. These two have no quit in them. I love it when that comes together, right? You have controversy one week, and then you got to run side by side in the next week. That makes
Well, usually
for an entertaining little moment. The
Well,
race
even-
within the race.
with that lap, it looked like Jorgensen almost lost it.
Yeah, I think you're talking about somebody who's going to consider that pit strategy is, holy cow, back there for about 18th, 19th, it is a train wreck. These guys are on top of each other. Big cluster and clump of cars.
Yeah, we're
Rolling through turn 3 and 4 right now, across all 3 or 4 lanes. Somebody slips in that mess trying to get ahead of the group, and that is going to be a major problem.
just found the answer real quickly. I was trying to stay on Jorgensen there for a second. Let's go back to that little cluster as you mentioned. So Jorgensen got loose the lap before. You can see the smoke coming off the rear. That's why I was like, man, it looked like he got loose before that. But the 43 of Harrell actually got loose and got down into the 88. Send him to the infield almost.
Hudson?
Is it Hudson there?
43 of
Yep,
Hudson.
Joe Hudson, yep. So
Yeah.
that Texas Pete Sauce car got a little free there above the 88. And that's what kind of...
And he's free right now as we talk about it. That car is just yawed out sideways. Looks like a tilt-a-whirl going around the corner.
And you're seeing some of the cars throw up smoke a little bit in the rear. I mean, it's almost like the rear tires are spinning as they try to
We
get off
watched
the corner.
that view and we're going, wee, wee, and he's going, oh.
They're not saying we are.
Wee. That's what it looks like when you're watching it.
So we hit the halfway point this time by 67 complete, 67 to go. It has been King and Parker putting on a show up there at the front. They've kind of calmed down for a minute. You know, 2 cautions early, but we appreciate all the viewers for checking us out here on the broadcast tonight. Of course, the Scalicast podcast is out, and we recorded half the episode tonight for week 9. That's because our guest is going to be on tomorrow with us. And we're going to talk a little open wheel racing actually come tomorrow and stuff. You can check out the podcast. Yeah, Harold's, or not Harold, but Hudson's Cars throwing up smoke off turn 4 every lap. Basically, you can check out the episode on Spotify, iHeartMedia, YouTube, and more. The Scalicast.
Yeah, we got cars all over the racetrack right now, Chris, and the leaders are encountering some of these back markers who've had problems or are off the pace. As King has stretched it out quite considerably over Josh Parker for the first time here, he has about a 30-car length lead as he heads in through the banking in turn 1 and 2.
Here we go at pit stops. Kevin Brown, I should say, at lap 70 from 27. Let me do math. That's what, 43 laps? So this is your first short pitter right here. And it should be 4 tires and fuel. We'll try to keep up with where he comes out of the pits.
My guess is Kevin ran pretty hard, so he'd be one of those drivers that would welcome a fresh set of Goodyears.
Mojica up to the 12th position as he tries to chase down Justin Mons. He's got Charles Van Schaik, who about won himself that Talladega race last night in the Xfinity Series. Great run for that 23, finishing runner-up. Yeah, everybody pretty spread out now, running their own pace. Obviously, handling coming into play now. A lot of cars dancing free. You could probably stick a
Speaking of Talladega, tomorrow night,
yes,
the Tuesday Super Series starts. WED Diecast, and it's a series of races starting with Daytona, and then Talladega, Daytona, Talladega, Talladega, Daytona, Talladega, Daytona. If you like this style of racing, you found a home here at Sim500 on Tuesday nights. You can go to sim500.com, click on the register, and if you want to run for the championship, it starts tomorrow night.
It does start tomorrow night, and it's going to be different types of cars, too. I think the, what I see him say, the trucks, the Xfinity cars, the Gen 7s. I know he mentioned a whole lot of different cars as Montesa comes to pit road. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun come tomorrow night. And looking forward to seeing how that series goes. Super Speedway series are always fun, especially on the Sim 500 side. So,
looking at the timing and scoring monitor, we saw Kevin Brown go to pit road. He is the first car 1 lap down, so he did lose a lap. He's hoping there will be no caution as the field's going to cycle around, and that he could at least maintain the lucky dog position should something come out. But there's your strategy, Chris. We'll see whether or not that plays out for the 93 come the end of the night.
So Kevin is pitted basically at the earliest part of the window. So he can go to the finish, but he's going to have to save his tires, and he'll be pretty much running dry if there's no green-white check. We're at lap 75 now, another 7 laps, and you're at the halfway point of this run. So pretty much any time you come to pit road now will determine how you're going to run in this race. And I know I've seen a couple other Vegas races recently in other leagues that have had a similar type of race like this. And it's usually about the guys in the middle of the road that usually come out on top. The early guys usually get the lead, they fall back, and then the guys that pit late usually end up too late getting back to the front. So I think you need the middle of the road this. As you see the 92 back on track, that's the Mark Henry machine that just planted himself in the wall. He just did the world's largest wall hit. A play of words on the finishing maneuver of Mark Henry. The world's largest slam. As one car slams the outside wall back there. That would be the, I think that might be the 25, the modified. Got the outside wall there of Nick Jobs, who unfortunately his night has gone bad in this race.
It's difficult to race with damage, and it's also difficult to stay out of the way, as gotta give a tap to, you said it earlier, Donnie Leah, as he's sideways, but Donnie can drive a car no matter the way it goes. and put body English in it and carry speed on the long run, and it's showing up here. And also anticipate that the 38 is great on the long run. And let's do a Pedro count. Where is he? Just about
11th,
cracking into
yep.
the top 10 right now. He's peeking on the back
Ooh.
bumper. Eric Arnold.
Calantoni had a tank slapper off turn 2. As I was actually about to spotlight another driver that has slowly worked his way up through the field. How about the blank white space? Or the Nick Silver car? The 46 up to P4 right now. After starting all the way back in 22nd position. He's like, hey man, I want to put this project board, whatever you want to call a blank white piece of space, up there in the top 5.
Maybe
so
a fluffy little cloud.
the Bob Ross car, if you will.
Yeah. It's free. It's like a canvas that you can paint.
Up here comes Donnie Lee to pit road. First of the leaders right here. Lap 80. Got to get to 45. He almost sped there.
It's hard to get down to pit road speed, too. Coming off the banking here. You're carrying so much speed, and that run tempts you to run all the way to the line.
Yeah, Joe Hudson coming to pit road.
I'll tell you who's coming back is Mike Kelly. Currently running in the 4th position. He's got good long run speed.
Yeah, Kelly.
Look at that lonely pit road.
Pretty much. Donnie Leah. There's Joe Hudson's come in. 15-4 for Leah. And obviously, we're right near that halfway point right now of the fuel window. We went green right at lap 29, which put us at 105 laps to go. You split 52 and a half in half. Well, you got to estimate and make it 53.
53?
53.
How about this run for Kevin King? He's crossing start-finish line heading to turn 1, and the rest of the field's just getting to the start-finish line now. He's got a quarter straightaway. That's an unusual thing to see at a track like Las Vegas, where the draft keeps everybody kind of in close proximity. The 29 and the 81 have broken away, and then when you get back behind them, everybody's still kind of clustered together. The snake is in turn 3, and the tail of the snake is coming off turn 2.
Kevin King is almost 0.3 faster than everybody right now in the field. He ran a 32.59, just ran a 61 that time by. A 91 from Parker. So that just tells you a 90 from Silver, who's, by the way, up to 3rd now. So, yeah, Kevin's got him pretty much under control right now as Pedro Mojica officially enters the top 10 in this race into the 10th position. But this is a battle right here with Carl Lavage and Justin Mons.
For all the drivers having a good night, Jorgensen, who started
Sorry. Go ahead.
Outside pole, yes, is back to 18th, down 16 positions, and so that 88 could use some service and a caution maybe to get some damage fixed.
Josh Parker, Nick Silver on pit roads.
Silver, yeah.
At 2nd and 3rd as they came to pit road right here at lap 83. So we're slowly seeing these guys.
Brings Calantoni to 3rd. Giles, Dalton, round out your top 5 as Dalton just goes around Giles. Giles drops off the racetrack, goes to pit road. So does Chad Coleman and Mike Kelly coming in.
Mike Kelly coming to pit road. Josh Parker, 17.3 on his pit stop. Not sure what was so slow, but unfortunate circumstances there.
Sometimes you go and slide up to the sign and you don't quite hit it, and you have to ease off and roll up and stop, and that little bit of a delay makes the pit crew. Have you ever seen them have to move?
No, yeah, you don't want that, especially when you do the little slide.
You gotta like, whoop, where are you going?
Calantoni, Dalton, and these guys all on pit road now. And you'll see
Evan King picked up the lead lap 63. He had led 47 laps prior to taking over the helm, continues to run out front. Now the question is, how long does he stay out? And if he does, Chris, will it result in him losing track position as these drivers are going to have faster lap times?
And Pedro Mojica to pit road, so here comes David Comstock. Gerald Livingston all on pit road. Green flag pit stops. You look over to the left on the timing and scoring, trying to break it down to make this easier for you guys. You see the lap number in the middle there. It's what lap everybody's pitted at. The pit stop speed to the right, and then where they're at currently on track. So you can see where the first driver is on what strategies on the board there to your left. All he's doing experimenting on the stream, in case you never noticed. As you see the 23 of Van Scheidt coming back on track. Mojica, 14.7, good stop for him. 16.1 for Comstock. And you see 42
3 and 4. Looks like Kevin might be slowing down here. No, he's going to drive it up off and go one more time.
Yeah, so 88 laps complete. So this is where we talk about that long run where you wonder, I mean, you look right here, you see Kevin DeBrown pitted at 69. You got Donnie Leah behind him at 79. You got Silver at 83, Parker at 83, Kelly at 84. So the winner, where's it going to come from? Which strategy? Because the longer you go, the more you are losing to the cars on fresher tires. And Kevin King is like, you know what? I'm going to go as long as I can, because if a caution comes out, he's going to put 10th on back a lap down in this race.
Kevin DeBrown just actually slipped underneath Kevin King. I think that's going to put him back to the lead lap running 9th, but he's a full track in arrears to the number 29. Is I think one of the things that helps KK here is he's out front and he's got clean air on the nose. And when you're driving out by yourself, you kind of can just pick and choose the way you want to run. As King slices left and he's going to head to pit road. He's got to slow down, drags the right front, and he has now answered the call.
King comes to pit road. They're trying to wreck over here off turn 4, as Kevin Stone had just passed Bobby Wetzel for 4th, but the Hungry Hounds are coming through. So
Going to give the lead to Eric Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold's going to grab the lead as we go back to the pit stops here. 4 tires and fuel for the 29 here at lap 81. As Stenzel East pit road, Stoney Benfield, Richard Beasley on pit road now. And obviously, King's going to be the fastest car on the track now. It's a matter of how much speed has he lost, or how much time has he lost, I should say, compared to the others who have come to pit road here. As here comes Stone and Funky Cole Medina to pit road in the 24 at lap 92. So 3 cars, to my knowledge here, yet to pit from the lap 27 green flag. Eric Arnold and Patrick Colby, 2 811 cars up there leading this race now. And here comes Arnold to pit road. So that hands the lead to the last car in line, Patrick Colby, who should, 27 and 50 is 77. Yeah, he should be coming to pit road any minute, I would think, right? Yes, yeah.
That was a far more conservative entry to pit road for Eric Arnold there, as we saw a contrast to the 29 of Kevin King, who dumped it off the racetrack, had to slam on the brakes to get down to pit speed, but
Colby's still out there. He's got 7.5 seconds over Bobby Wetzel. So those are the 2 cars yet to pit. And as you see by the cycle, Donnie Leah is actually going to take the lead of this race after pitting on lap 79. He'll have Kevin DeBrown in second, Josh Parker, Nick Silver, and then Kevin King. And there's going to be about a 8-second difference between Leah and King right now. Let's go back. King just actually ran the fastest lap at a 30.90. That'll put him up in the, I think it's like the top 10 in qualifying, as he comes up here in the back of the 46 of Silver right now. And Wetzel comes to pit road.
I was looking to see if Patrick Colby led any laps. He led 7 at Daytona, so that makes 8 laps for him on the season.
It's always a cool thing when you have a league like this that you can lead a bunch of laps in. Kind of like a confidence booster, if you will. As here comes Colby to pit road right now. So 45-mile-an-hour speed limit for Patrick Colby, and that'll hand everything to Donnie Leah.
Hey, I'd love to see this matchup of King and Leah go together. This would be an interesting little fiesta to see how those two would race each other.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Got a guy that's been in the Coke Series, and you got a guy that's actually won a NASCAR Truck Series race and raced modifieds. But Donnie with a 1.3 second lead now over Kevin DeBrown. Josh Parker 4.4 seconds back now in the third position, and Kevin King, who's now up to fourth, is all of 5.9 seconds back. So the best thing that can happen right now to the field is we go another probably 10-15 laps, and Kevin gets up towards the front, and then the caution comes back out, because at that point you'll have everybody pitting again, probably to go on even tires the rest of the way, because right now Kevin is on rails as he's going to go blowing by Parker here.
Yeah, I wondered if there was going to be any bit of a contest there, but that looked like, yeah, see ya.
Yeah, there's
He just drove underneath and powered by to gave a little salute as he went by. I don't know if he gave a wave.
So I say there's really there's sometimes where a battle's just not even worth it.
Yeah.
Mark Jorgensen back here now the 17th position. A good night gone bad for the 88 car, as he tries to battle with Robert Friery to third back here. Justin Mons is a little ways ahead in this battle. He and Comstock, Charles Van Schaik on this battle.
You got to be impressed with Nick Silver. He's putting together a good run here tonight. Each of the segments, he's just had a solid car, not abusing it, not being flashy and showy, but finds himself in the 5th position right now, and I think he's got a little more available to him as this race starts to wear down.
Yeah, he pitted on the same lap as Josh Parker, but of course Kevin King's got him all covered right now, so Silver might be pretty much set there and could work himself up to third before this thing's over with, of course, with DeBrown and Donnie Leah having the older tires with the earlier pit stop. But still 33 laps to go, plenty of time, and we're going to step away and let you hear from 811 real quick, as we'll come back and get you closer to the finish of this race as you're watching the Captain Esports Network from Vegas.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
Back we are here from Vegas as we watch this dogfight going on from 13th on back pretty much now, as somebody scrapes the wall there. Didn't see who that was. But Kevin King on the march, just past Kevin DeBrown for second, and now 1.9 seconds separating Kevin from the lead of this race. Of course, he used the strategy of pitting later in this race, where everyone pitted at their own lap in time, where Donnie pitted at 79, Kevin King 11 laps later, and has taken advantage with the fresher tires. And I think it's pretty much going to be inevitable that the 29, which by the way was formerly Donnie Leah's number, takes the lead from the 20. Sorry, continue. Mark Jorgensen about became that guy. As here we go for the lead. As King retakes his throne at the front. Here at lap 105. Leah just lets him go on through as he's got the newer tires and to the front. Let's go back because this fight is just getting more and more intense, it seems like at times. But Jorgensen, yeah, he got on those bumps down in turn 1 and 2 a couple laps ago. And I saw him wash up the track and I'm like, uh-oh, because he was heading right for another car. And thankfully he was able to save it. Right. Good comeback. Yeah, he was the first caution tonight off of the back end of Nelson Rivera as Parker's gone by Kevin DeBrown for third. So DeBrown now starting to falter a little bit with the older tires in this race. Just kind of want to put that out there real quickly as we go back to this little fight going on. Yeah, the only person I've seen run the high line tonight has been Donnie Leah, and that was earlier in the race. And yeah, to credit you there, I haven't seen anyone really do the old straddle, that first seam, which used to be the way to get around Vegas on iRacing before they went to the oval refresh. And that was because the car would run so tight center off that it would help de-wedge the car and loosen it up. And allowed these guys to get off the corner. But yeah, you haven't really seen much of that tonight. You've seen either they're running right on the bottom, right in the middle, or right at the top. And of course, I say that Mike Montesi straddles the seam. So of course, I just maybe wasn't paying attention, but. Yeah, he and the 69 car, who was multiple laps down, Patrick Blundell, had contact there. Wesley Donaldson had the popcorn as he comes to pit road now. Yeah, that's a pretty good save there. And you mentioned Montesi moving up to 19th now as we're trying to get the replay here of that incident here. I think it should happen right here as Priory gets the run. Maybe I missed a lap on it, but... Oh, yeah, everybody's getting loose now. So, yeah, unfortunately, wasn't able to catch it there. We're at lap 112 now. It happened... lap again. Here we go. I found the move. Or maybe I didn't. I jinxed it again. Let's just do it here. Here we go. Oh yeah, there's the they were 3 wide.
straightens him out. He comes back up on the banking, and the car turns sideways again. And again, he catches it as the 69 goes, whoa!
Right.
I thought you were done.
Not so much, I guess, there, huh? So Mojica has gone by Calantoni for the 8th position.
We're getting down to this here.
Yeah.
With cars all over the racetrack. A late race caution would really mix this up, as King and Leah are the top two, with King out right now to a 3-second lead. So write the check.
We're trying to get to the bank
yours.
early, are we?
Write the check if we don't see a caution, is what I was going to say.
Mojica out
But
to
the
the
way everybody's coming off of turn 4, I would not be surprised to see somebody down in the grass.
Yeah, Mojica's moved up to the 8th position. He and Calantoni battled there for a minute. Tyler Dalton back there at 10th. Carl Lavage having a good run in 11th right now. 20 laps to go. Obviously, anything can happen here. And he usually does.
Joey Jutina running 21st, trying to break into the top 20 in his Chesterton Ford. Trying to track down the 88 of Jorgensen.
Mike Kelly just passed Kevin DeBrown for 5th.
That's a driver that's up on the wheel all the way. You cross the start-finish line, and he'll race you to the pits at the end of the race.
Pretty much. And he'll win, likely, too.
They joke in the NASCAR about the drivers that want to win practice, that kind of thing.
Right.
That's the demeanor of Mike Kelly. He's that guy.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Love how he uses the entire racetrack coming up out of 4, lets the car drift up, a little bit late on the exit, which gives him more space to arc the corner on the exit. And that's where you pick up a 10th here and a 10th there, and that's the difference between running 7th and running 5th,
Right.
top 5s. That type of knowing the way to run the racetrack.
And the one right now who is literally throwing everything out his window right now, trying to get a caution, is Kevin DeBrown. As he's about to lose the 6th position to Chad Coleman, just on the older tires, trying to do a different strategy than what these leaders did. And unfortunately, Kevin now having to fight his teammate here, Chad Coleman.
You wonder how much of a fight he's going to put up, but he is hanging tough on the outside there.
Yeah, so far, he's, as you mentioned, hanging pretty tough on that 38 car. A battle of WBD diecast. I'm sure Coleman's, in a jokingly way, cussing Kevin out in chat.
Yeah.
And battle for 2nd. Here comes, or I'm sorry, battle for 3rd. As Josh Parker has fallen into the clutches of Nick Silver. I thought they would catch Donnie Leah, but Donnie's gotten out 4 seconds on these guys.
We're going back to Coleman and DeBrown. They were leaning against
Right.
each other in turn 2 and 3 their last lap. They're still running side by side as they come across the start-finish line. This isn't over yet between these two.
No, not at all. Coleman inside and making the pass. Finally slides up on Kevin DeBrown there. I wonder if Kevin finally yielded the ghost there, or if Chad just strictly took it away. But he did notice that, you look behind him, there's another red car coming, and that is Pedro in the 8th position right now. 2 cautions in this race. They both happened in the first 30 laps of the race. Otherwise, we have gone nearly 100 laps of green flag here at Vegas. And that's what this series does every race in Vegas, if not every week. Of course, next week we go to our 3rd straight mile-and-a-half track on the Cup Series schedule, and that is Homestead Miami Speedway next Monday night. So come join us at that mile-and-a-half circuit, and we'll be there at 8:15 Eastern Time next Monday night.
Coming off a 27th place finish in Atlanta, Chad Coleman needs this kind of start. And when we look through the stack, I know it's early in the points, but this is going to be good for point leader Mike Kelly. He's running 5th right now. If it finishes up this way, I think he'll continue to hold the lead. This will do well for Kevin King, who was 11th coming in the point standings here tonight. Of course, a win always like halves the distance early in the season.
As we watch Nelson Rivera back here, 17th position, looking inside on Eric Arnold. Justin Mons right in front of there in the top 15. As we get ready to hit 10 laps to go here in this race. But Rivera and Parker fighting it out, or Arnold, I should say, fighting it out here in turn 1 now. But yeah, great points night for Mike. Gonna probably hold on to the points lead. And that is something I know he'll be able to hold his head up about. And of course, it went for last night in a rough race at Talladega. Mike Kelly would probably be the points leader in both series right now. That's how good the 2 car has been.
The driver who is not having a night that he's looking for is we got 1 car slow on the front stretch against the outside wall.
Or is it Charles Van Schaik?
I will tell you in 1 sec. It's the 23 Charles Van Schaik, and he wrinkled the back of that Camaro.
And now all of a sudden he's going here. I don't know. Like my camera wouldn't pick him up for some reason. Yeah, you can see the.
Yeah, I think it was one of those turn 4 hero problems. Yeah, he might have got a little help there. He was loose out of turn 4.
He's coming to pit road, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he slapped the wall. Loose out of turn 4, and unfortunately for Comstock, guess what?
He was the one to hit him.
Ran right in the back of him. Plunked him in the start-finish line. Wall. Nothing he could do. He was fishtailing right in front of him, and I was just about to say, Joe Hudson in the 43, currently running 21st. He came tied in 2nd place in the point standings, and you can tell while he's running 22nd, he was yawing out sideways out of turn 4 that last run. Not the car he was looking for here tonight, as that 43 has been a handful for old Joe Hudson all night long.
Oh yeah, right there's the contact after Van Schaik got loose and bam into the wall.
I'm pretty sure that's a toe link.
That's yeah, that's not good. Let's put it like that.
You could tell the way the crowd was walking.
Look at this. Silver has gone to 3rd, past the 81 of Parker.
What a run. That's got to be a confidence booster to come up here and get yourself a podium.
No kidding. Nick Silver, and obviously, I don't know much about him. As most of the new drivers, when they show up, I don't really know much about him. But Nick having a great run here so far. And I'm looking for Nick in our point standings here.
Yeah, he's deep in the hole.
I'll say, where is
he only ran it.
Oh, there
he only ran Atlanta.
Okay, so he didn't even run Daytona.
Finishing 13th, so.
Yeah, and that's his first start in the Cup Series. So, I mean, literally 2nd start. And caution!
Ding, 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 ding.
Rod Mitten has gone smitten in the front straightaway. Oh, boy.
School's in.
Joe Hudson, I think, might have gotten something in that, too.
This changes everything, right? As they say.
Wow.
The proverbial this changes everything.
Hot sauce does not go well with an energy, well, with a alcoholic drink. It's not even an energy drink. It's owned by the
This
energy
is
company.
43. I told you, he was having his hands full. Every time out of turn 4, we see him sideways. He just went through and banged a beast.
Literally.
I think he was probably trying to pull down to make sure he stayed out of the 8.
Oh.
When he pulled the car down.
Leaders to pit road here. We're going to jump to it. I mean,
yeah, you could bet they're going to go. I think they have no choice.
I mean, who tries 2 tires here? That
Dalton.
would be a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yes, it would. Well, the interesting thing, would anybody stay out?
That's what I was wondering. Do something
4
different.
to go. Maybe you could outrun the cautions that are going to come behind you and sneak yourself a win.
I think the right move is to pit. It's just, what strategy do we try here? Here it is, 2 tires. Calantoni and Dalton.
Dalton and Calatoni. King going to come out 3rd. I told you it would be the 19.
Silver, a 13-second stop. Not sure what that is.
The question lies with Anthony Calantoni. Is he going to think that Dalton was a good influence on him or corrupting his morals? I don't know. Because they're talking about, what do you want to do? 2 tires? You think we should do 2 tires? Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try it. That's the conversation.
Tyler Dalton
in the Sim500 channel.
Tyler Dalton is kind of a professor when it comes to these kind of things. Like, if there's ever a question of like when to try something, he has the numbers to tell you of like, this is why this might work here. This is why this might work here. Like an analytics type of guy. So I'm pretty sure Dalton was saying that, I've tried this here or that or whatever. So
I've run this before.
Right.
And I know that when I've run it before with left side, I've been faster. I'm just trying to tell you what the conversation's going on in the channel. Sim500 Mafia team.
Yeah. And you know what? We owe NC811 one more break here. We've been having so much fun during the green flag run. Let's get this in real quick and come back and get you the finish of this green-white checker overtime coming up on the Captain Esports Network.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, back we are at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, virtual and iRacing. Oh, boys. Caution has come out for contact between Joe Hudson, who got loose, and Rod Mitten. We'll show you that replay one more again real quickly. And Joe actually got loose below Randy Yoakum. And went 360, and it knocked Rod into the grass. And before I forget, speaking of Randy Yoakum, I think we're going to one to go this time by. Randy running in the 20th position in the 811 car as Justin Fuller started this last week. And a big shout out to him for stepping in and doing this kind of a project. It's really cool to see someone featuring the drivers of a series, basically. And as I scroll up here real quickly, general chat, Randy Yoakum is the driver spotlight this week. He's made 175 premier starts in the Cup Series, 12th on the all-time list there. He does have one career pole in 2021 at Pocono. And according to the stats of Fuller, he thinks that's actually due to an invert of the first Pocono race or something. But it did get Randy the pole, so we won't take that away from him. He does have 9 top 10s and 2 top 5s. His best is a 4th in 2021 at Daytona. He has completed a little over 18,570 laps, 12 laps led altogether, and only 9 DNFs and 175 starts. I was saying starts like I'm from Boston. But Randy, of course, driving that number 8 in the 811 car, of course, in one of the representatives there. He's a big advocate of the 811 in Virginia 811 call before you dig. So big shout out there to the 8 of Randy Yoakum, and we'll find out who is in the spotlight next week from Homestead. Here we go. 2 tires on the front row. Anthony Calantoni and Tyler Dalton. As we come to the green, Calantoni on it. Overtime begins now.
Got to get a good launch. Don't spin the tires. Get through the gears cleanly. And see if you can look in the rearview mirror and block the lane.
Both of them right on the white line. Kevin King trying to get some momentum. Slides up the track. A little aero block from Dalton here. You wonder how much defense he's going to try to play.
If he can't win it, would he want to block for his teammate?
Exactly is what I'm thinking. As cars go 3 and 4 wide off turn 4. Racing hard. Do we get back to the white flag? I don't see anybody wrecked. We hit the white flag. Final lap. Are we going to see another robbery in Sim500? Usually it's Mike Kelly. Oh, cars are in the wall. Kevin DeBrown and Josh Parker.
How about this? This has got to be an upset for Kevin King.
Big time as Anthony Calantoni gonna come off turn 4, 2 tires, wins in Vegas. What a gamble.
Incredible. What a job for these guys to be able to go there. I have to wonder if cooling the tires off and just hugging that white line for 2 laps, and Cal Tony, he has got to be ecstatic. And for Kevin King, didn't get the win here tonight after leading 102 laps. That has got to sting again 2 weeks in a row, but runner-up position was able to sneak by, I think. It was photo finish there at the end, and I think he got Tyler at the line.
I'm going to check the numbers here really quickly as Cal Tony burns it down here. I believe this is the first Cup win for Anthony Calantoni, and we've been waiting on this to happen. I think this was another prediction of ours.
How about that? Up 24 positions, 27 positions from the start.
And I'm totally missing his burnout because I can't find a camera. There we go. Producer's fired.
I have no idea what happened behind him.
They wrecked?
Was there a race back there? I'll have to go back and take a peek and see. There was some extracurricular activity off of turn number 2, and all kidding aside, we'll see if we can figure out what happened there. I think I saw Kevin DeBrown heading into the infield lake.
Oh no, there's no
at
lake.
One point.
There's no lake in Vegas.
No, but he made one, dug himself a hole.
Oh dear. First career win. It is official for Anthony Calantoni in his 82nd start on the Cup side per the Sim Racer Hub website. So, oh man, what a celebration that is about to be as we get another first-time winner in the series. And even when Pedro shows up, we get a first-time winner. Calantoni wins at Kevin King second. He ain't going to be happy. That might be a little high-rate robbery, if you will, as he finishes second. Tyler Dalton third. I mean, whoever made that call from one of them two up top deserves an award. Nick Silver fourth. Chad Coleman fifth. Donnie Leah sixth. Cody Giles, another top 10 for him. Pedro Mojica gets seventh and eighth. Nelson Herrera ninth. Jason Karlovaj takes 10th. I can let you take 11th if you like, sir.
Yes, sir. 11th went to Mark Jorgensen Jr., Eric Arnold in 12th, David Comstock, Robert Friery 13th and 14th. 15th was Randy Oakham, Richard Beasley, Patrick Colby 16 and 17. 18, 19, and 20 went to DeBrown Mons, who had an incident out of turn 3 and massive crash results. Kevin Stone, he was in 20th. Stoney Benfield, Bobby Westfield, Gerald Livingston, Joe Hudson, Joey Jatina, 25th here tonight. 26 is Montesi Medina. Jose Gonzalez, didn't talk about him at all tonight. Finished 29th. 30th was Josh Parker, who got into the wall in that last lap. And from there back, massive carnage. Doug Sigmund, 31st. Mike Kelly on his roof, sliding through the grass. Didn't finish the race, I don't believe. 32nd. 33rd for Scott Simley, Blundell, Van Schaik, Jobs, Wertman, Hollifield, and Scott Stenzel, along with Wesley Donaldson, credited with 40th. 41st, and these drivers had problems way early. Fuller, Macklin, Peters, and Ronalasso is going to be 44th in shotgun on the field here tonight at Las Vegas.
Anthony Calantoni started the season after we hyped him up for how well he runs on super speedways with a 46th place finish in the Daytona 500. Out of 48 cars that started that race. And here tonight, start number 3 on the season, he's in victory lane for the first time in the perfect place to gamble. And that is here at Victory Lane, or at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Congratulations to him on that win. We'll celebrate with him here in a second. But first, let's get third place. Tyler Dalton, who I'm about 105% sure is going to take all the credit for that move right here. Let's see if I'm right. As Tyler Dalton joins us up here in the booth. Tyler, that's a pretty good call. That's a pretty good call.
Yeah, close once again. Difference in that race there was the gap getting to pit road. People weren't getting caught up, and a little bit of a gap between me and Anthony, and then he beat me by about a half a car length off of pit road. But me and Anthony talked about that, and we're like, we're either going to both look like idiots or geniuses.
So who made the call, though?
Sort of both of us. I had mentioned to our guys in general that it does work here, that I've tried it before. It's not as loose as you would expect, and it just takes too long for the four tires, especially on a little short run like that, for the four tires to get the grip they need to get it to turn. And two tires felt great. My tires were actually a little better there than Anthony's, but he had the clean air. I just, on a single monitor, I had to sort of guess there on the restart. Didn't do too bad of a job of guessing. And I saw him get tight one time in 3 and 4. Thought maybe I would have a run, but I saw Kevin King coming, and I knew I didn't want to just move up and let him get my inside and run me up the track. So I tried to I was hoping he was going to get tight again the next corner and I'd get another run, but just couldn't quite get back there to him. And then Kevin got on me coming to the line, and for first, yeah, I'm probably going to door and pinch, but for second and third, I was just happy at that point to see Anthony get the victory.
Yeah, obviously a great battle in the end. Obviously for you, you had your struggles a little bit tonight. You ran back there towards the end of the top 10, even out of the top 10 at times, and was fighting the tire strategies and stuff like that. So it has to feel good to finish third.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, my problem tonight was I had a long run car. It came back to me at the end of the runs, but on the short runs, I just didn't have the breakaway speed that some of the other guys had. So at the end of the runs, I'd start to run everyone back down, and I think I was probably going to finish maybe 8th or 9th there if that would have stayed green. And I was pretty happy with that. I was actually not happy that the caution came out, because we didn't really know what we were going to do there. But ended up working out for us. Good finish for me and great finish for Anthony. I know it was his birthday yesterday, so that's a good birthday present for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously a great job for him and a great job for you finishing in the third position here tonight. Congratulations on that. And yeah, I guess nothing more to say, man. Great job.
Thank you. I just want to thank all the guys that call 811. Make sure you call before you dig. We got SC811 on the car representing the home state. Trend Service, another great sponsor of this series. Night was the last night, most likely for our Dodge, so we'll probably switch into a Chevy next week. It was nice to at least get a good podium finish in it, but just want to thank all the guys down there in Sim500 Mafia. It was great seeing both of us get a really good finish there.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and thanks for keeping me on guard there.
Thank you.
In my head, I'm like, did I remember his sponsors or not? I can't remember. Too many things at once. Nice job by Tyler Dalton finishing in P3. I see Kevin King has jumped here into chat, and Kevin, you get to have the Kevin conversation with Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin gets to talk to Kevin. Kevin, man, I think if you look at this race, you put everything together, and I know you didn't want to see that caution come at the end. And two tires. Are you surprised that pulled away the win?
I mean, yeah, I'm just disappointing that a race gets ruined by whatever that was in the last lap. Not too happy, obviously. You do what you think you need to do all race, and you watch some guy get loose the first time and doesn't lift, and gets loose again, causes a yellow with like 3 to go after that. Such a long, good race. So, yeah, super disappointing. I mean, I try to keep it all in perspective, but you know, when you try to run a clean race and you see the entire race kind of get ruined by that, you know, it's really disappointing.
Yeah, I think a couple drivers were surprised at how much the car would loosen up, and just never really got a quite a good handle on it. But you, all night long, car was fast. At some point, you and Josh played an interesting game through the middle, and then you drove away to clean space and had control of this race. Take us through that series where you and Josh were exchanging the lead there for a period.
Yeah, I knew where he started. He was probably using up his tires to get up there. I was, you know, clutching and turning the car off to save some fuel just in case I needed it for some reason. So I just kind of maintained and used the arrow, and then when I saw him charge pretty hard, I just, you know, didn't really put up a fight because I knew I knew that if I just kept the tires on, they would come back to me, knowing that he probably burned his stuff up a little bit more, and it just takes like 30 laps or so to really separate. So once I felt like, I saw him struggling a little bit, I just decided that, just to pass him and try to create a gap, because I knew once he didn't have the draft behind me that he would probably suffer a little bit more. So just try to create a gap there, and then just really maintain and see what everyone else is doing in the long run. And when they did, I came out in a really good spot. I was like, oh, I'm not as far back as I thought, and I just kind of was riding the rest of the race out, and typical luck for me, something like that happens. But it was a good race overall. I wish I could just finish one of these things.
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda for 2 for 2, but you did look like Dash from The Incredibles. You looked at your lead and not too far, and not too little, and I feel like I took notes through it. 102 laps from what I saw led out of 134. That's domination, Kevin. And if you continue to do that through the rest of the season, the wins are going to come. I know it's going to sting a little bit. Second here tonight and last week, what occurred, but yep, we'll get him again next week, right? Is that your sense, or does it still disappoint you all week long?
No, I mean, I'll get over it in a little bit. It's just
Are you over last week? We were curious.
Oh yeah. No, Josh and I talk. I like Josh. Josh is a good friend of mine, so no harm, no foul with that stuff. But yeah, it's frustrating when like you said, you do the things right and you kind of run a good race, and then it just gets kind of ruined by whatever that was at the end of the race. And not just me, right? Obviously me not winning is not fun for me, but there's a lot of people that had good positions going and good finishes that kind of get screwed up by that wreck at the end of the race. It kind of just turns everything upside down. So it's definitely unfortunate when stuff like that happens, but it is part of racing. You just you do the best you can. I felt like if I had a little bit more faith in what 2 tires after that many laps would have done, I would have taken 2 tires, but I just felt like I had a gap, and it was the smartest call to take 4, and was hoping that would be advantageous, and unfortunately it wasn't. And I'm sure the next time I do take tires like that, it'll be terrible. So this is how it works. But yeah, next race should be fun. I'm not sure even where we're at, but whatever race
Homestead.
is, hopefully we don't have
Homestead.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. I like that track. I run pretty good there, so hopefully guys can figure out how to maintain their tires long run and not just mat it when they get loose like that to cause yellows, and maybe we can have a good finish.
Yeah, we were having the conversation about how the racing gods think you probably deserve that, but fickle fate takes it away. And 2 weeks in a row, that's not fair. So maybe next week is going to ring the bell for you. Who do you want to give a shout out to, Kevin, as we let you go for the night?
Yeah, my buddy, he owns this company. It's called Rev Grips. He does anyone for likes mountain biking stuff. He created this pretty cool little handle that's like a little rubber elastomer, so your wrist don't die when you race or run mountain biking stuff. So big shout out to him. He's helped me a lot at designing some stuff here locally and made some stuff for me. So he doesn't watch because he doesn't really do sim racing, but I still put on the car, so hopefully people can go to his place and check it out. But yeah, all you guys for putting on the show. I definitely enjoy being part of racing. As I gotta be honest with you, my entire race turned different when, like, 5 laps ago, I saw Beasley coming towards me, and I was like, I have to lap Beasley. So I'm actually more disappointed that I didn't lap Beasley on pure pace, because that would have been like an entire week of me just showing him the results of me lapping him.
How long did it take you to realize it was him? It wasn't the Tide car.
Yeah, so I looked up on the front stretch, and I'm like, it says Richard Beasley. I'm like, oh, he's that black and red car. So I was like, okay, go. I'm going to go. But then the guy next to me was racing him, or racing for position. I was like, okay, he's definitely racing for position. So I think I would have caught him a little sooner. But if I had one more lap, he definitely was toast. But so I'm probably more disappointed that I didn't get to lap him.
There you go.
Because I could have used that like the entire year, basically.
Kev, I found the silver lining in all this.
Shoot.
That's the points
he
leader.
still knows.
We're talking to the points leader right now.
Oh, that's good. But he's still going to know. I'm still going to tell him that he was saved by a yellow. So either way, it kind of works out. I just wanted him to be that -1L on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's always fun when you hear Kevin swat somebody else. So, Kevin, we'll see you next week. Thanks for the excitement here tonight. But I'm sure your excitement is not matched by this guy. He's probably going to explode when he comes in and
appreciate you
talks
guys.
to us. So congratulations on your second. And let's get Anthony Calantoni up here.
Yes, as mentioned, Kevin King is going to be the points leader as we go to Homestead next week. So, again, the silver lining for him. But the Jersey boy has gotten himself into victory lane.
Woo!
On the Cup side. What a call that was. Tyler said you both made the call, so he did give you a little bit of credit. But just talk about the conversation between you and Tyler, and obviously to pull off that move and win this thing.
Caution came out. Tyler, we doing 2 tires or not? That was basically it.
It's a pretty simple conversation right there. So
Yeah.
So I say you,
Well-
Tyler gave you a lot more credit than that.
Well, I actually ran an A-fix race. I know it's all different than how we run and
Right.
everything, but I actually tried it during that A-fix, and and I found out it felt pretty good. So I think even if we didn't discuss it, I was doing it no matter what anyway. And I was 8th or 7th right there. So I mean, that was worth the shot being so close to the front.
Well, obviously, being able to finally get that Cup win, it's kind of funny how when Kevin and I did the podcast a few weeks ago before the season, we said, hey, we think Wesley Donaldson, we think that Anthony Calantoni's got a win coming. I'm just more surprised. And obviously, in the way it kind of works out, it was worth the gamble here, but I was expecting it more to be at a place like Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, me too, Chris. Or even on like another intermediate track that I feel more confident. I feel very confident at Vegas. It's one of my favorite tracks, but these other drivers here, and they're so competitive. So there's some weeks where I say to myself, can I compete with these guys?
Right.
Can I not? But just finally knocking the win off. I'm saying I got more confidence that I belong here, and this is the forever home probably.
Well, obviously, your boys from Talking Giants, I've seen them checking in here tonight and even doing a fun little recap of the last couple weeks of the NASCAR races and stuff. And obviously here now you go to victory lane finally as you get that checkbox done. So does it lift all the pressure off of you?
It definitely does. Just to see that finally see that winner sticker, and it maybe my heart will stop pumping now when I'm in the league coming to the white flag.
Come on now, you're no, that won't ever happen. No, I say that because I've been there so many times. Like, I mean, winning the 500 a couple weeks ago, yes, it was a 500 granted, but like anytime you get a chance and even you're close to winning a race, that heart starts pumping no matter if it's your first win or your 90th. So I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, my friend.
I had a little extra pressure too there, Chris, since it was my birthday yesterday.
I hear he turned like 45 or something, but anyways, but no, happy birthday. Congratulations. Obviously, you do not join like the Kyle Busch Club that wins on their birthday every year. So you don't get that honor, but close to it, and you get the stage to send shout outs whoever you like to.
Thank you, Chris. All right, here we go. First and foremost, I want to thank NC811.org for the sponsorship of the Sim500 Cup Series and all the sponsorship that they do for the Sim500. We probably wouldn't be able to do this without them and their great, fantastic support that they give us. Talking Giants and John Boy Media, great group. I'm so glad that they decided to come on board for a second year. And I think after tonight, this is going to be a long partnership here. I got to thank the new sponsor coming on board this year, the Rebuilding Warriors program. They help retired vets with PTSD. They give them canine service dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And John Mustin for the fantastic hot ride he painted for me tonight. And all of the Sim500 Mafia team for all the help and great teamwork.
Absolutely.
And, I can't forget you guys with the broadcast.
I wouldn't. I was more worried that you were gonna like take up the rest of the TV time we had here. Just the way that started, I'm like, oh, this could be a while.
Well, I usually forget about a couple people, so.
He wrote it down, it sounds like. I like that. Good job, man.
I did not. I'm staring at the winner picture.
See, I got everybody in here, I think. Great job tonight, man. Congratulations. Well earned.
Thank you, Chris. Hopefully see you again next week.
Hey, that sounds good to me. Next week at Homestead. So we'll see how it goes there for Calantoni. But tonight, you can't take the win away. He has got his first win in Sim500's Cup Series here tonight as he wins at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Kevin will be known here. We now have had 2 straight first-time winners in the first 3 races here. So that is a little nugget here for you, as Wesley Donaldson last week became a first-time winner on the Cup side. And, of course, now it is Anthony Calantoni. So,
So who's left on the list?
Well, I mean, Cody Giles is second in points right now. I mean, could he put Ancient World Gaming up there in the victory lane? You got him. Nick Silver, a 4th-place run here tonight. That's another potential one here. Carl Lavage with a top 10. Mark Jorgensen comes back to finish 11th after what he went through in the middle part of the race.
Yeah,
So,
he had a rough night tonight,
but
able to salvage a good finish out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, the sky's the limit. Like, I mean, and this is, I say this, respectfully. Obviously, you get somebody as good as Pedro Mojica, and he steps aside and goes part-time. And yeah, you got somebody who's been as dominant as Kevin King is coming in here and doing his thing, but it opens up the realm when you get all these good drivers where if you put yourself in the right spot and you, let me go back to that old quote. If you do something different than the leader, you're not going to follow the leader. Look what happened.
How about that?
So
yeah, and how about, I think an important storyline here is Mike Kelly, who ran top 5, ended up finishing 32nd. Josh Parker, who was wrestling for the lead, ended up finishing 30th. Late race problems took those 2 out of the hunt and cost Mike Kelly the point lead here. And that to me is as big a storyline as Anthony winning.
Yeah, and unlike certain TVs and stuff, I am actually going to take you back. Let's show you what happened on the last lap. It started on the back straightaway, and let's see here. So Calantoni obviously leading, and I saw the 81 get the wall. As you see the 3 wide here.
It's sliding here.
Oh, you make contact with Giles. I saw a little contact with Giles, and then you're going to see.
Pick up the 81.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the 81 here.
He's against the outside wall about now.
Yeah, let's back it up here a little bit. Back it up. Josh Parker, there he is. So there's Parker. So yeah, you're going to see a little contact with the 5 on the inside here coming off the corner. Let's slow it down here so make it easier. Right there. There's the contact. And that gets Parker out of shape, actually. And there's where he overcorrects up into Kevin. They tag team the wall up, put some dust on my camera. And Pedro gets through there by literally 8-tiring with the inside car there.
How cool was that, the debris falling?
Not for my camera.
That was kind of cool, though. Gotta say.
Hurry up, crash cam. So there's Parker up against the outside wall.
He's about 30 miles an hour off the pace here.
Well, in fairness, we're about 150 miles off the pace right now with this speed.
Yeah, but I mean, just everybody drove by him by the time he got to turn 4. Car was junk.
Yeah, he's driving with a broken toe link here, so everybody's going by.
And you're going to find Mike Kelly just about to...
Right there. Here's Mike.
Have a massive problem. So the 41 got sideways, made some contact, and then slid after contact back up into the racing surface.
Ooh, Livingston, and Jatina caught Livingston. The faster pastor gets hit, and Mike Kelly, oh boy.
Yes, that car really...
lands on top of the 17, up into the Kench fence, back on top of Joey.
Almost looked Bobby Allison like there.
There's Medina, who, is going to literally carry him the rest of the way, it looks like. Gets the wall again. Folks, this might be the toughest announcement I've ever had to make, but on the last lap here at Las Vegas, we didn't lose Mike Kelly, which is good, but you get where I'm going with that reference. That was a rough ride. Well, let's, I think we need to go on board with Mike Kelly for this ride.
Yeah. His SpaceX impression.
I mean, ground control to Major Tom. Let's ride.
I'm not clear why he was back here in the first place.
Yeah, something
Kind
put
of
him back
missed
there.
that.
I'm with you on that. I don't know. I'll have to find out after the race. There goes Josh. And I gotta, I want to. Ooh, ow.
Oof. The hit into the cat's fence looks just like
Yeah,
Bobby
it's
Allison's
not
crash.
like, yeah, 88, or you're talking about the 87 at Dega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. The way the hood flipped back when it.
The race that brought the world restrictor plates, and it ain't been the same since. Where is the 41 of Mons? As Barney was
Down on the apron going into the corner is what I saw.
Yep,
See
right
here,
there.
he's
Oh,
down
yeah.
on the apron and it just de-wedged the car. And wrong place, wrong time, Jatina. Although he drove out of it. Do you see that?
I'm starting to see a little irony here. You remember
Which
the
is?
first caution of the night?
I have notes on it. That was a long time ago,
The good
Chris.
news is we can go back to 1935
Yeah, the
and show it
41
again
spin after a bump.
with. We'll see if you remember who it was with. I will show
It
it on
was with
replay.
the
Right,
13,
the
was it not?
13
Yeah.
of David Comstock. Let's go back to the final lap.
Oh no, tell me it wasn't the 13.
Justin Mons makes contact with the 13 of David Comstock.
Oh, how about that? Bookends.
Can't make this thing up.
Bookends to the event.
That poor guy. Anyways. And here you go. Right there. Contact with the 13.
Yeah.
Oh, Montesi gets pile driven by Hudson into the wall. All right. Well, congratulations, Anthony Calantoni. Let's show you the point standings. I kind of showed you, or kind of told you in advance, that we have a new points leader, and that is being Kevin King. And he leads by 3 over Cody Giles, who is up there in P2 now in the point standings. We about have 2 different series with 2 rookies in the points lead. Stephen Miles leads now over on the Xfinity side, and Cody Giles and Mark Jorgensen are right there, second and third. Joe Hudson is 4th in points. Chad Coleman 5th. Look how tight it is from 1st to 9th, where Calantoni is only 16 points back. And look at this, 13 up for Calantoni, 21 up for Tyler Dalton, is up to 10th now in points. Rivera up 12 spots to 10th. And of course, there's gainers, there's big fallers. Dustin Hall wasn't here tonight, he falls 10. Nick Silver up 17 to 16th. And yeah, Joey Stone all the way down.
I think that story is in 30th there, Wesley Donaldson.
Yeah.
Last week's winner started out with a terrible race at Daytona, wins Atlanta, and then ends
Terrible again.
40th here tonight.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that gets you a 30th place points run right now. So tough break there for Wesley, and I know he'll get that picked back up here really quickly. Well, Kev, let's go pack it up and head to South Florida and get ready for some racing in Homestead.
Yep, couple palm trees, nice Florida breeze. Looking forward to Homestead.
Absolutely. As we go from there. Appreciate 811 for allowing us to be a part of the series here with the Sim500 NC811.org Cup Series. And again, we're back at Homestead next Monday night. And on Sunday of next week, we go to the Iowa Speedway. So we're going to be picking corn Sunday and picking sand on Monday. So we'll go from there. Appreciate Kevin England for joining us as always. And a big shout out to Anthony Calantoni for going to victory lane for the first time here on the Cup side in the 811 Cup Series. Remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.